So hello, welcome back guys on my channel. So today my video topic is the Pride tier list about the placement of the Amath, which is a new character in Wuthering 3.1 version. So you already know that 3.1 version is already live in Wuthering, and also the Amath banner is in there. So if you really want to have a doubt about it, I guess this tier list going to be really helpful for you, that should you even pull for her or not. If you already pull for her, I guess this video might not be even helping you. All you have to do is just watch my video and have some chill. That's it. So first and foremost, before talking anything further, all I wanted to clarify is that please don't Pride.gg as a seriously, because most of the time they create a controversy between the communities by their placement of their favorite characters. But in here, when it comes to Wuthering West, they might be sometimes not even have a good take. But when it comes to the Hoovers and other games, because they are not even only the games that only cover the Wuthering West, they already cover like more than 12 games at the same time. So for the Hoover sector, I guess they are doing pretty much good, because Hoovers has a huge amount of power creeping issue, and they have so much restriction about playing a certain game mode or also every other new end game modes when it comes to their games. But in Wuthering West, it is a skill based game, but the way they are trying to create their path for it, I guess I am not seeing that it is going to be any more skillful after some patches later, because this is actually another gacha game. If you think that it is one of those F2P games, you can even use a Jian character from 1.0 on the current patches and clear it without any kind of problem. I guess you are on the wrong side, buddy. If you still try to unheard of it and try to blindly follow the cult, then I guess you are one of those tribalism guy. That's it. So let's see what kind of things and what kind of placement they are going to put for Amath, which is the most MVP, or you can say the big elephant in the room in version 3.1 of Wuthering West games. I'm not going to see any kind of thing of the criteria tags on the also rating metal and change log into this here, because if I just somehow see it, I will be get spoiled that what kind of placement on her. Besides than that, I would like to see what kind of placement they are going to have it, because when the Chisa was released, I thought Chisa going to be tier 0.5, but when I just saw her on the first time, she was like a tier 1.5, which is actually shocking to me, because most of the time when a new hype character comes off, they just put her into tier 0.5 at least bare minimum and tier 0. That's a totally basic thing of Pride.gg doing since the game was launched. Okay, let's see. For the Tower of Adversity, okay, yes. As you can see that Amath is a tier 0 point for the Tower of Adversity and also tier 0.5 for the Whimpering West, which is not even that a shocking things, because the way they are trying to portray her, the way they are trying to marketing her into the 3.1 and also the gameplay and other social media platform, she tend to be tier 0 on her first release, and she tend to be the new like a most broken DPS, just like when the Augusta was comes on to this game like 6 months ago. And some other characters also moved up. They didn't even show the sign of how they moved up from their previous tier list. If I just somehow see the change log, then it would be just clear as to the total confusion which character was their previous position and which character is in the current position. But one thing is for sure, so many characters already goes up. The character which already goes up from tier 1.5, which is then none other than our Chisa. When she was released, she was considered as a tier 1.5. Why? Because based on her popular value and based on her like total kits, people thought she is going to be another new like a shopkeeper, but the place was taken by the Morning. But Morning comes after Chisa. But when Chisa was released, her kit is not even like a properly utilized by any other characters into this game. Why am I talking about this? Chisa is totally playing around by her negative status. The more negative status is she is going to provide on the teammate. The negative status, if any character have a negative status types of like a damage capabilities, will be mostly benefited from Chisa, and that Chisa is going to be highly most benefited from that damage dealer as well. So there was no other character who can even benefited from her, and who there is no other options that she can even benefit on that particular team. So but there was the one team which was also can be used on the Chisa, which is the like a Karthe tier team, but that Karthe tier team was like a flex team. She does not even add any kind of value, just being their emotional support. That's it. What can I say better than that? So the character that already goes up, which is the Chichiona, she was tier 0.5, and also the Lupa at the same time. Why? Because Lupa is a fusion character and the Amath is also a fusion character. Lupa is a core for any types of monofusion teammate. it. If you really want to play Amath as a monofusion team, you have to use like a Amath, Lupa and also the Morny because of their element. I don't even know, I just totally assume it right through my ass. If I just somehow click on her and see her team consume synergies, I guess there would be a much more option or much more explanation in there. If you just somehow use the Lupa and also the Amath and the Morny at the same time, this would be a perfect monofusion team. And also Lupa helps to reduce the like a fusion from the enemy team, and which can also help the damage dealer just like the Amath to do more damage than ever, which is another single types of playstyle. Another types of playstyle which is the burst mode types of playstyle. In this burst mode types of playstyle, all you have to use is the Amath and also Linaya and also the Morny. This is the same thing. You will slap into 98% all types of damage, and this all types of damage is going to be really benefited for Amath, and she is going to be the main on-fielder damage, do the highest damage as possible she wanted to do. So okay, before talking anything further, let's see what kind of things they are trying to say in their review section. For the review section, let's talk about the pros. The strongest fusion DPS, also the new strongest DPS in the game period, excluding quick swap. Well, I already heard so many people that she is really bad at quick swap because most of the things she does is being on her field. And why it is happening? Because she have a 4 types of different ultimate. If you just try to play her as a quick swap, that 4 types of ultimate cannot be activated, where you have to be on the field doing some certain criteria and also meet the certain criteria, you will like a drop 4 types of nuke at the same time. That's the main thing. And second option is a different moves and operation, allows her party to variety team composition and battle scenarios, tune, rapture, fusion, burst, monofusion. Amos does all of it well. As I already mentioned before, she can even do 2 types of things. First one is a monofusion teams, which is a consist of the Lupa, Amath and also our Chisa or Morny. But another the other playstyle which is the burst team, where you have to use the traditional old team, which is the Linaya and also Morny. Not actually old, they are currently newer one, having the Morny and also the Linaya. In the third one, don't mind not having her signature, at least not as much as other recent DPS, can still perform using standard banner option to a high degree given the right environment. Okay, that's actually really fascinating to heard of it. Because after release of the Zani, you have to have the signature weapon to perform perfectly. Not actually Zani, there was other characters just like the Agosta and also the what's her name again, Karthetia, what's her name again, Frolova. If you don't have a signature of those characters, your character is totally dog shit to the core. You cannot even perform their fullest without their main signature weapon, which is the total log behind a paywall. So that's it. And the fourth one is a Nanami from Punishing Garavan must pull for that reason alone, not biased. Okay, that's not a totally point, or you can say the reviewer trying to messing with us. That's it. And trying to say that he's actually a PGR fan. I'm not going to like bash him for it. I'm also a PGR fan also. Let's talk about the cons of it. Ideally depends on having at least one premium teammate that leans into one of her team archetypes to function at a high level. While this is not uncommon for a good amount of recent main DPS, Amath lacks good permanently accessible option unlike Frolova and Agosta. For example, her power ceiling makes it worth investment, but that investment in itself is worth nothing, particularly for beginners. Okay, if you understand it, please let me know in the comment section. Second point is the 4th generation is largely dependent on her short range melee basics attacks, actually hitting enemies for damage. Enemies that go airborne or run away from close quarters combat will lengthen the Amath's rotation significantly, and boss may expire before her biggest nuke as a result. Okay, I understand the second point, which is that you have to like do so many basic attacks to fill up her forte gauge, and also that forte gauge is going to give her a resonance revolution, which is the ultimate. If your enemy is totally like one of those enemy who just goes to the airborne back and forth and you cannot even hit your basic attacks at the same time, then the damage is not even there, and she cannot even properly utilize her total passive and also activate her ultimate at the same time. And the third one is a fusion burst mode needs a strong secondary teammate in order to be worth using. Any usage Chisa has, which is the only justification fusion burst mode, is outclassed by the more accessible option Rapture mode. Sorry, I don't have any kind of idea what the third option is saying that, but I hope that you guys would be understand and just try to let me know what they are trying to say in the third point. Okay, so let's talk about the review. For the review, so the thing is they didn't even show anything else besides than her like a meta conclusion where she's going to be fit in. When I just read it, it is just normal things that they are trying to say in this review, and also the things she does have a 3 types of teammate, fusion, rapture and also the monofusion team. DPS does not have to be that kind of like a more explanation things. She is not even a provider, she is the giver from the support, and the support is the provider of that DPS or damage dealers. Okay, let's back to our tier list. Let's see what other characters it totally have their placement, did they even change or not. So in that case, I'm going to see the change log. Here is it. Amath added as a tier 0.5 DPS in Whimpering West. Amath is rather similar to Agosta in sense that she has a lot of range away nukes spread through her rotation, which makes her effective for multi-wave clearing content. Well, as you already know that I think Agosta is not even a tier 0.5. She is 2-0 for both mode. For Tower of Adversity, she is considered as a tier 0, and also for the Whimpering West, she is also considered as a tier 0. I'm not saying that why they are to consider them as a tier 0.5 just because have some kind of issue when it comes to doing so many damages in those Whimpering West types of multi-wave content, and for that reason I don't think so she deserves tier 0.5 for that sole content. She is a tier 0 point for both content at the same time. For Amath, I guess she's also having the same issue of Agosta. Well, 0 and 0.5 is not even that of a big deal. Both are also considered as apex tier character. For the Linae, she is a 1 to 0.5. She is not even a damage dealer at this point. She is a sub DPS who helps to deal damage for the main DPS. That's the main thing. She provided like a up to 73% all types of damage. All you have to do is just swipe her, activate her skill, which can provide a 73% all types of damage for the whole teammates, and quick save to the main DPS or the damage dealer, and the damage dealer going to be benefited from that all types of damage and doing the most of the damage into the field. Third one is a Phoebe. Phoebe is a tier 2 to 0 tier 1.5. Okay, Phoebe DPS team has got a big upscale for casual players in the front of Linae, and Shisa is great with her in the quick swap teams. Man, I just don't know why even you guys play the quick swap teams. Is that even a optimal? No, most of the people are going to be point out, not actually most of the elite players are going to be point out that, hey man, if you cannot even do a quick swap, this game is not for you. Go plug Genshin. The thing about is, which I really like about Amath, she does not even require her signature weapon. According to the review, I didn't even use myself or see myself. Let's see on her build how much of a difference it is. Amath's signature weapon is obviously best, but it gives her a fusion, rest, defense, ignore on her liberation damage, as well as extra damage bonus, crit rate and high base attack. And for the Emerald of Genesis, this is a 70% better or 70% worse for the standard one, and that guy is saying that she does not require her signature weapon to perform perfectly. I don't know why they did even find this kind of logic, that the thing that it is providing for her, which is a fusion, race, defense, ignore, and also crit and crit rate with a high amount of base attack. You guys are even saying to me that this is a bad thing, huh, man? Okay, let's see what kind of gameplay and synergy teams they are trying to providing us. First one is a base team, which is obviously, this is not actually a base team for Amath, this is a basic base team for every other characters, DPS character existing to this game. Second team is a monofusion, which is a consist of the Lupa and also the Morny. Okay, and the alternate teammates, which is Chisa and also fusion, but generally not recommended since it requires heavy investment in Chisa. Use Shorekeeper on Rapture mode for the best result in most case scenario. Rapture mode. Okay, so I guess that's all for this video. Hope you guys like it. If you like it, leave a like and leave a comment. Should you agree with the PrideWin.gg decision about placing her into the tier 0 on her first release? And also see you on the next video. Peace.